Tonight, thank God I got to speak. I was blowing up doing all those Facebooks. Holy crap. You know what I did? I cleaned my ears, I cleaned my eyes, I cleaned my nose, I cleaned my mouth. I have to turn the fridge off. It makes too much noise. I hear the heater when it turns on. You ever hear of that hearing that Superman has? The child, when you're a child, they get addict. And the reason they get the earache is because the water goes right through their ear, through their nose and their mouth. They're cleansed. The children are so small, nothing is checked that tiny. And our doctors and scientists, we're not advanced enough, although we seem to be advanced. Everybody knows that if you remove the extra big bubbles in your body, everything will bubble up, right? Champagne. The reason for the body is a bubble. When you go to pee, the water comes out, but it turns to bubbles. When you go for a poop, sometimes it's some and those are bubbles coming out of my tongue, pushed by the rest of my mouth and the air that went into my lungs. I'm feeling a little blue tonight, and I wear these sunglasses because I wear them at night now. I wear my sunglasses at night cause I can. Well, that was sung for me. I couldn't see 30 days ago. I had astigmatism. I'm 47, obviously, I don't see 100%, but who does? I see what I need to see. Oh, my buddy's in the background. He doesn't have the same skin picture, although he's standing behind me, ready to protect me. I know someone's behind me protecting me, and I know he has a third eye behind his head, and that's his tail. The minute someone close behind him, he whacks him up, and his tail wags like a dog, my protector. The only one who believes me, he hasn't said a word yet. I just did 2 hours of Facebook writing, and that's off the top of my head. I was blowing up inside. I was... Thank God I come to see you. I mean, it's actually me I see, but I'm giving it out to you guys. Go check out that stuff I made up on Facebook. That's exactly next year. The Gregorian calendar is 16 months. Some sort of leap year. I don't know the whole thing. I just put all those numbers together off the top of my head. Whatever time it took me to do it, and it took me more time to break it down to 420 words than I did to write the whole thing. And I was huffing and I was puffing. I felt like the wolf. But I was going to blow my cap off, so I popped a lithium, my second one of the night. That's all I need. That's all I've been taking for the past 6 months. Everything is good. And I'm on 700 Seroquel, which is 100 above normal, and 1 milligram of the Ativan. Why I take the Ativan is to calm my nerves in order for 5 minutes to say to myself, I'm okay. I'm okay. The only time I'm not okay is when the film rolls at 1,000 miles an hour, because bipolar is 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And the other day, that's bipolar, it's 1,000. Because everybody knows when you mark 1,000 after the third zero, you make a dash. And that's to remember the 9999, where the penny is missing, and we told you that's the core of the earth, and it's part of the moon. Moonshine? Let me ask you a question. When you take off your sunglasses, and you look straight into the stars, you see a flash of light coming off the sides. But on the moon, where's the flash of light? The reason for no flash of light is because it has an atmosphere. Not a very big one, but it has one. And we all know that even in the tundras, where the desert is, or where the ice is, there's always something growing somewhere. So therefore, if we plant it under the earth, just like inside the water where the ice is, and keep it warm, put a little bubble over it to start it, just like you do with the corn at the beginning of the season, the ear corn, right? So you put a little plastic over it. You warm up that spot a little bit more and the tree grows. Does anybody know evolution? The tree grows, and the roots they spread, and the families they spread, and the trees of the family they spread, until one day they come to now. 2010, 10 to 10, 10 to 10, 10. Baccarat after baccarat, baccarat, nothing and nothing at all. Because time in 2011 in the calendar right now, as of September 18th, when I blew the shofar, it became all zeros. At that moment, when the blast sounded and stopped, that was the beginning of time again of 001. 0001. Do you know, like you see on your computer, 0001? Because it only works by the thousands. Bipolar is by the thousands, and everything we calculate is by the thousands. But evolution brought the dollar into the millions and trillions. But I don't hear anybody calling TXZY is 1,000 billions. They go TXYZ is 40 over 62 squared root. Man created a zillion. A zillionaire. What's a zillion in the air? It's like a zillion, which is ion, which is salt. In the air is nothing. It's just a little salt in the air. Bill. You write a bill to send a billy, to send a billy out. To send a billion. A billion and on and on and on forever. And what can they do with it? Because they can't buy everything, so they take the money and they buy money with the money. Buying money with the money. That's what life turned into. We buy money with money to make more money. And where does that get us? The poor African, if we take one gentleman, I guess, in this world, maybe wherever you want it to be, and I won't take it from the Arabians, because they still have the hair of the man. And they stand tall with their 15 wives, and it's not 16 because it's sweet 16, and it's 15, there's not one more because everything is fair to share. If you care and you dare, if you're the billy goat or the bear, or e-bear or e-bear, and don't get scared for who I am because I know more, this is fun. This is what bipolar is all about. Once you learn to regulate on how to take them, I mean, the first 3 years was a killer. I was freaking every night. I thought my head was going somewhere else. But I never knew what it was, bipolar, until like a couple of weeks ago. When I saw the movies that my parents saw, the actual happenings of things that they saw, but it went so fast in my head, I just popped 600 right away of Seroquel, 2 Ativan to relax, to believe, and I went to sleep. But before that, I lied down on the pillow, and my heart was like Alice in Wonderland. Ba-boom, 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 ba-ch, ba-boom, ba-ch, ba-boom, ba-ch, ba-boom. The chicken and the talking, and the chickens do the talking, and the talking does the walking. But the money don't walk, and the money don't talk. But when you show it into somebody's face, for some reason, I spoke to him a minute before, and he told me he couldn't hear me. But when he saw the dollar from Rich and Rich, with all the signs and colors of all, because we all get mixed up. You see, I smoke. I don't have enough Seroquel for tonight. Something happened. Somebody came into my apartment and stole some of my pills. Tomorrow I have to go to the pharmacy and buy them, because I have 2 days left and I don't want to miss. I don't mind being up here where I am, but it's lonely at the top. When you're going so quick and you're going absolutely nowhere, when I'm talking to a screen that doesn't talk back. But what's good is I hear my own voice. Like I told you, I shut my fridge and the water is off, because if I put the water on, it sounds like just makes sounds, the water, and it splashes, and I'm all alone. And if I'm getting here the music or the opera, the winning of the freedom of the people, Oprah Winfrey, Groucho Marx, Harpo Marx, the Marx brothers, how many were there? Were there 4 or 5? Regardless, 4 and 5 is 9. If they were 4, it was good. If they were 5, it was even better. They were fair. But they were always fair, and they always cared for each other. They knocked each other in the head, and they always came back for more. And who comes back for more when you're knocked in the head? When you're knocked down, and you're knocked out cold. But you're not cold at all. They can't feel anything. And you ain't warm, and you're not dead. So what's going on when you're knocked out cold? What do I smoke? I don't smoke marijuana. But if I do, 1 puff of marijuana, depending on what the night is all about, if I have a story to begin the night, I'll go, let's see if I can show you something before my time runs out. Oh, I'm only at 20 minutes. 8:45. I turned on all the lights, because in my earlier videos, where I wasn't sure who I was and what I was actually... In my earlier videos, what's happening to my screen? Okay, my screen's screwing up, so maybe I'll slow down. Maybe it's the light. I'm going to disappear for a second. Okay, I'm back. That's funny. I walked away for 3 minutes, and I come back, I say I'm back, and it starts automatic. Thanks, Zadie. Zadie Wilhelm, taking the helm of all. Okay, I won't say it. Go ahead. Okay, so listen, I just wanted to tell you something of what the time machine is all about. And everybody knows, I just want to tell you the way I see life. I think the Greeks were first. And the reason they were first is so because whoever was behind them can follow their tracks, because they were backwards. They started at the end, so everybody had a trail to follow when the Greeks came about. And the gods and the Zeuses were the stories leading up to 2012, because every single one of them has happened and every single god has been here. But we've missed the tsunamis from the Greeks. Atlantis is coming because the polars are melting. And 2012, where the plaquettes will be coming from the outsides in each direction, where the universes are all moving now in sequence and there's no way to move but to move with them. So God has to protect those who will say to the mirror on the wall, well, it keeps stopping. It's pretty hard for me to do, but I'll try it anyways. Every time it stops, I feel inside. Anyways, where were we? The Greek gods. So the Greeks were first, and I think the Arabs were second, because the name Arab stands in English for the arm of all man, standing tall with the whatever around his head. And the reason he has that around his head is for the respect of others, that he shouldn't hear the words he doesn't think he should hear at all, so he protects himself by asking a second time, excuse me? That way he doesn't make the mistake of misunderstanding the other person. Therefore he only has two stories. He wears the sheet over close to his eyes so the sun doesn't blind him, so when he sees properly. And the women, when they shave themselves, is because women love what men look like. And they have to shave themselves of that desire. So they cover their face. But nowadays, nobody really knows, and we're all hoodlums. So we have to uncover their face unless they go back to their own country. Don't forget, evolution means the changing of everything, and everybody has to fit in. And since the mask doesn't fit in here, there's too many burglaries. We have to take it off. I'm sorry. But the third one was the Muslim man, and he was the one closest to the Jew. Why? Because he used a phrase from the Jews as a mazel tov, a muzzle for the dog to shut the one's mouth up. But to tell a mazel tov, congratulations on your 13th birthday, you are now a jack. As before you were just a number and treated just so, but when you had your bar mitzvah, you were the jack. Which jack I don't know, but I can tell you the difference is that the best jack is the jack I am, because I am the jack of clubs, and I will show you how it comes to be. This is what the jack of clubs look like when all the sixes go together. You create the mug and bedded, you divide the center up between the corners and the angles that we see over here. The emptiness between the four hearts. As you see, the four hearts together make up the four sides of everything and sticks man back together to the love of God. In total, you have 12. If you count the east and the west, you can see that there are six hourglasses for the 6,000 years of life, because we all know in time it only goes to 59, and we're running into that time right now. We all know we need a 15-minute break, which equals a quarter, which means 250 years. There's 4 years to go. 2015. I guess that's why 6 years ago, my first email was last year, 2015, in which I had a new one and made to MrTacpans's, because it's to cater. The tack of all the pans, or the man is the cat, for the man is a sharp cat, and he is sly, and he has many lives, because he tells a tale from those who tell him the tale, so he understands the tale, so he shows the tale, because nothing is safe here on earth unless you show it now. There's no waiting for tomorrow. The money will not count. The money will not count on waiting till tomorrow. It's today, and it's not the money, because the money ain't funny anymore. If we do not survive with the hearts of the mugging people, David, the strength of all men, the mugging David with the 6 hourglasses, and if you turn them and you turn them, and no matter how you turn them, you end up with the same thing and the same hearts. And what you see is what you get. You have 6 points on the outside, and as man in his world, terre des hommes, in Montreal, Canada, and terre des hommes is homme de terre, which is Jesus, and he was not around in the time of national soup, when every big nation in the eastern and the western of the North Americas and the Europes and the rest of the world had many of the races in the big towns, and now it was a big race. So I have to turn this off and take a look, see how much time, and it's out. I'll be back.